Hi, everyone. Let's see.
Hi.
Hi. I'm using that nice creation from the guys from Singapore. Couldn't resist using it. Well, it doesn't look bad. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, now we can see each other. A short introduction for the newcomers, for the people that joined this club for the first time, and I hope that they stay after that. If not, well, life is difficult sometimes. We are this is a club that's called Madrid Leaders, Agora Madrid Leaders. It's part of the network of clubs of Agora Speakers International, which in turn, Agora Speakers is a worldwide foundation. We're present in over 70 countries through over 160 clubs, and we're devoted to helping people develop their public speaking, leadership, communication, debating, and critical thinking skills. As you'll see, we exceptionally we meet online. This club is organized from Madrid, for example, but as I mentioned, we have clubs all over the place. Although ideally we meet in person, all clubs meet in person, because that's the best way to practice public speaking when you have a physical audience in front of you. You will see that our meetings are relatively structured. They have different sections, and each person, different people are in charge of each section. For this meeting, next meeting will be someone else. And we call those people in charge people that have roles to perform in the meeting. I hope you have all seen the presentation that I sent you in the first message. If not, please have a look. And it's a very short slide presentation so that you can understand how we work. For clubs that are open to everyone, like this one, or the majority of the clubs, in fact, our activities are free. So if you want to join, either now or later when the clubs switch back to physical meetings, there are no like sign up costs or membership costs or anything like that. But it does require commitment. I mean, this is something that I insist a lot in. This is not a social club. We don't gather to see each other's faces, although it's always nice to see. We don't gather to socialize. That can happen, but it's not the main goal. We gather as an educational activity. So if you are unable to attend at least twice a month, you'd be wasting your time. It's just like trying to learn tennis playing once a month. Probably you won't get anywhere. In fact, you should probably forget the little that you knew. So having said that, I'll give the floor to the first row, which is the meeting leader, which is myself again, because no one volunteered from our regular members. And I'll skip the introduction, which I already did. And I'll give the floor to our first row of the meeting. That is the timer. So Nicoleta, please tell us what the hell does a timer do and why do we do it at all?
Hello, my name is Nicoleta again, and today I'll measure the time of the people that have today a rule for speaking. And the goal of measuring the time is to make people to feel the time, because it's important when you have a public speech. It's important to feel the time and to not speak more than you need to speak, because you have a limit and you have to um, mm, you have to stay in a limit. And I have today 3 markers, and because I didn't find anything better than markers. And when I will show you the green marker, it means that you have enough time to speak more. When I'll show you this marker, yellow marker, it means that you have more, that you have time, but you have to stop. And when you will see this marker, a pink one, regularly it have to be a red one, but today is a pink one, you have to stop, because it means that your limit is over. This is my rule today. So keep your attention to these markers today. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicoleta. It would help for the speaker to locate Nicoleta or fix her video so that he or she is aware of the marker it turns. It's not Nicoleta's job to draw your attention to her. It's your role or your responsibility as a speaker to mind the time. And we also do that because in real life, unless you are super attractive, like, I don't know, Shakira, who gets the pass to speak for 1 hour and they don't interrupt her, most of us, especially me, we're not that attractive. We get kicked out of the stage quite quickly, 15 minutes tops. So you have to be able to transmit your message rather quickly and succinctly. Time is important, not only is money, as Americans say. Now we have an additional row, and we call that the grammarian slash filler word counter, and that role belongs to Juliana. So I'm giving the floor to her. Juliana, please tell us about your role and the word of the day.
Hello everyone. Today I am grammarian, and as I understand, I have to give you one word, and after that we have to everyone must this word correctly, to do it very correctly, because my English is not perfect, and I want to show you one word. Today I have some trouble with my telephone. That's why I decided to write some picture, and now you see some book, some letters. Maybe someone guess guess this word, and if you want, you can give me feedback if you guess very quickly, because I haven't so much time. And I show you. Okay, CHOSA. CHOSA. No, no one.
Chaos.
Chaos,
Chaos.
yes.
Okay, okay, yes, it's chaos, chaos. Because the last time when I speak with one foreign person, I talk chaos, something like that, and she explained me it's not very correct, and I decided to give you that it's chaos. You have to open your mouth very open, and to give feel this. She told me you have to feel this word, and this word is noun. I give you some examples. Okay, my road maybe is not very correct. The kitchen was in chaos, because in this time in quarantine, my kitchen always, I don't know which one is perfect, but my was in chaos. And the next one is there was total chaos on the road. And the last one, I want the last one sentence, it's the strikers are expected to bring chaos. Maybe my explanation is not very correct, but this word give me some troubles, because I couldn't talk this very free. I didn't read it. It's normal, and in the end, I want to say that everyone kitchen was perfect, and not as mine is chaos. Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you, Liana.
Thank you for you.
One tradition we have here is uploading with or without microphone after each intervention. Exactly, Marco. I like your proactive attitude. That is gives us support, because despite of what Juliana said, as if it was something for her, meaning her English is not perfect, we are all in the same situation. Nobody's English is perfect unless you are Hemingway or some BBC anchor. And we are all here to learn. Remember, the goal of this meeting is learning. Now we have what we call prepared speeches. Prepared speeches, they follow an educational path of 16 projects that teach the basics of public speaking. Then we have advanced paths that teach other things. But for the basic paths, they teach, each project focuses on a particular, let's say, facet or aspect of public speaking. They are anything but chaotic. Starting, for example, from the very first project, which is the one we're going to see today by Olga and Claudia, about just finding your own natural style. Two more advanced topics like speech structure, vocal variety, body language, using humor, using anecdotes, using presentations, using microphones, and well, all sorts of stuff. But before I give the floor to our first speaker, one of the things that we do here, and one in it's, let's say, the core of the system for improvement, is peer feedback evaluations. Evaluations not as in scoring or judging how you passed, you failed, but evaluations as in we give you our opinion on how you can improve. Prepared speeches have an assigned evaluator beforehand, ideally beforehand. Sorry, Jeremy, it was quite on the spot this time. So I'll give the floor to Jeremy, who is going to explain the objectives of the second project. Jeremy.
Thank you very much, meeting leader. Olga and Claudia are going to do project 2, and it's speak about things they like. The objectives are talk in a relaxed manner, monitor the time taken, aware of difficulties when you deliver in public, versus private talk. Find your own voice and style. So over to you, Olga. We welcome Olga to speak on things she likes.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. So I guess I can set up the timer. So, and hello, everyone. My name is Olga. I'm from Minsk, where I live now, and I don't work for the moment, so I'm concentrated on improving my skills. Some of them will be useful in future career. Some is something like my way to find a balance between body and mind, such self-exploration. And the rest just brings me joy. And the biggest joy I'm getting at the moment is from singing. And to start if I start from my childhood, I didn't sing. I was afraid of this, and I realized that I can sing when I was a teenager, when I was 16 years old. It was a time when we prepared a romance evening, or evening of a romance at school, and I had to moderate this event. But because we didn't have enough volunteers for singing, I decided that I will join this activity. And this was the first time when I was told that my voice has a wide range, and I can, even if I talk with a low voice, I can sing a soprano. And I trained a lot, and I completely failed on a stage. My voice and my singing sounded more like howling, and I felt shame. However, I still had a thought in my mind that I can do this better. I can try once again. Or, I should sing a soprano. And last year, I finally did this step and started to attend singing courses. And I have to say that the main problem for me was not to moderate the voice, but the main problem and obstacle was in my mind. The perfectionism didn't allow me to make a mistake, didn't allow me to pronounce the wrong sound or to sing the wrong sound. And this fear could even block my throat, so I just got stuck without saying any word. But thanks to my teachers, it was really very attentive, that helped me to overcome these barriers, that found different ways how to motivate me. So we achieved really great results. It's not superb, but at the moment I am getting joy not only from the singing, but from my experiments with the voice. And also I'm really glad that I did this step and overstepped this fear of failing. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Olga. I'll give the floor now to, maybe it's going to be too quick. Jeremy, are you ready with your evaluation, or do you need some time?
I can do it.
Okay, let's go for it.
Yes.
Usually there is a small pause, but let's do it.
Yes. Could I have the timer's report, if you don't mind?
Sure.
How long was the timing of this lady?
Olga had 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, so it's very
Thanks
good.
a lot. Thanks very much for that. Excellent. Yes, I'll take over. Thanks a lot, madam, for the timing. Could I have a look at Olga, please?
Well, that's up to you a bit. I mean, I don't control who you see.
Right, no problem. I need not see them, no, to talk. I'll just speak. Right. Olga, your purpose of your speech was to speak in a relaxed manner of a thing that you like. And it was wonderful hearing about your singing difficulty you had during school time and how you got embarrassed in trying to sing in school. You were very relaxed at one point, but I'm not going to mention about your eye movements or the body language because those are not things for the project 2. We just want to see how comfortable you are in talking out in front of an audience. You were quite relaxed and you expressed your thoughts very well in logical fashion. And I think it was a wonderful opportunity for us to know your strengths and weaknesses and to get to know that you had become a very good singer. So next time, Alexander, we can have her sing a song for us. Over to you, meeting leader.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. By the way, that's
Thank you.
inexcusable for me that I didn't introduce you properly. We're all from all over the world here, but in particular, Jeremy is our Agora ambassador for Sri Lanka, and he leads the Agora Speakers Colombo Club.
Thank you.
And
Thank
by the
you,
way,
Jeremy.
Sri Lanka was one of the first countries in which an Agora club joined, I think, right in 2016. So thank you, Jeremy, for your support.
Thanks. It's a pleasure.
And moving on, let's go to our next speaker. She is going to have exactly the same project, so we're not going to repeat the objectives. And over to you, Clyde.
Hello?
Hi. Could I have
Hello?
your name, pronunciation of your name? Claudia or Claudia? Clyda.
Can I please?
Yeah, you can speak. Could I have your name, please? Your name. How do I pronounce?
Are you hearing us, Clyda?
Yes, I have some problems. Can you repeat, please?
Jeremy was asking for the pronunciation of your name.
Do I go with my role?
You can continue.
Yeah, let's go.
How do I pronounce your name?
I don't hear.
Yeah, you can continue with your speech.
Okay, Clyde, maybe we can move to the next part, and then you can fix your. I'll type a message because I'm not sure she.
Yeah, I think the line is breaking off.
Okay, meanwhile, since we have a bit of time, thanks to this short interruption, and we have new people here, I would like to do a quick round of introductions from the new members, or well, the new guests. Let's hear where they are from and how on earth did they end up here. So let's start with Sergio. Sergio, tell us where you're from.
Hello, Alexander, sir.
Okay, let's do it, Claudia. Let's do the short round of introduction since we have already started, and I give you the floor. So Sergio, tell us in 1 to 2 minutes, no more, where you're from.
Hey everyone, my name is Sergio. I am from La Paz, Bolivia. I get into this club on. I see a post on Facebook, an announcement on Facebook, and I decided in order to improve my English skills, to get in or to form part of it. And in this time of pandemia, I'm not working at the moment because I'm a lawyer, and the places where we have to do the lawyer things or the lawyer movement are closed. So we are just in waiting for the green light to appear so we can start working again. And I don't know.
Thanks, Sergio. I hope you don't send us all to jail when this is
No,
over. I hope
that's
you continue
okay.
in the club. So let's hear from Marco. Marco, where are you from? You have to unmute yourself. Turn on the thingy with the microphone because you're silenced right now. It's a button on the Zoom app somewhere. Okay, let me do it. Okay.
There, wait. Yes, perfect. Hi, yes, I saw an ad in Facebook because I'm just discovering this public speaking thing, and I saw something from this group, Toastmasters. And as soon as I got interested in that, I got an ad from this Agora speakers, and I said, well, it looks interesting, so I'll join. And here I am. I'm from Chile, by the way, and I'm looking forward to this. It looks pretty interesting.
Great. You see, we have some similarities and we have a lot of differences. One of the differences is that you don't pay here anything.
Nice.
Are you from Santiago?
No, I'm from a little town, Los Angeles. It's
okay.
Probably not even in the map, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Keep it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear from Lourdes. Lourdes, where are you from?
Hello, everyone. I'm from Mexico, Puebla, Mexico. Well, as well as the other new members. I saw the post in Facebook. I don't know why, but I'm glad I found it. I've been trying to work on my speaking skills in Spanish, and I think this is a awesome challenge because it's not just speaking, but speaking in English, and English is not my mother language, my first language. So here I am.
Thank you so much, Lourdes. Some of the skills are common regardless of the language. Well, some, in fact, you do have to practice in each different language. Not a problem because in Puebla, in fact, we were setting up a club in Mexico when all these, we have 6 clubs in Mexico right now, physical. But we paused all the campaign due to the lockdown situation. So Amelia, what about you? Tell us.
Hi, hello everyone. I am Amelia Merino. I'm from Puebla, Mexico as well, as the last person. And I am an industrial engineer and I work for Volkswagen. So right now our company is in stop due to the coronavirus. And meanwhile, I'm working as a home office and also seeing Facebook, and I saw an app in Facebook. And I said, well, let's try it. And that's it. That's how I came to here.
Thank you, Amelia. Apparently the targeting was good since it convinced you to come here. So what about Subri? Did I pronounce your name correctly? Probably not. Subri? The lovely girl with dark hair and yellow shirt. Blouse.
Hi. Its pronunciation is Surbhi.
Subri.
Surbhi. It's Surbhi.
Ah, Surbi. Darn. Okay, stupid.
Okay. Yeah. So hi, I'm from India, and I'm pursuing chartered accountancy course. And yeah, I just saw the Agora from, I was attending a webinar day before yesterday, and they suggested me about Agora, and I just surfed in on Facebook, and I found it interesting, and so I chose to attend it, and I'm having a lovely session here.
Thank you,
Thank
Survi.
you.
Let's hear a word from Aman.
Hello, I'm audible? Hello?
Yes, we heard you, Survi, I think. So thank you so much for being here. So, Aman, I was asking you, your turn. Where are you from? You have to unmute yourself. Unmute.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm Aman and I'm from India. And right now I'm pursuing my chartered accountancy course. And for this Agora, I come to know about my friend who was at Surbi, who also joined this program. And actually, I found it very difficult to speak in English, and I want to improve and public speaking skills also. So I found it much interesting.
That's great. You bring not only yourself, but your friends. Congratulations, Surbi. Well done. You don't need to mention that you're bad in English, because first, it's not true, and second, even if it's true, even if it was true, if you don't say it, no one will notice anyway. I mean, most people are concentrated on how bad they are themselves, so they completely ignore your particular situation. Just don't mention it. And I see a very from a different era, Sarah. Let's hear a couple of words from you. Unmute yourself.
Hi. Now?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah, and I'm excited to finally connect with the speakers from Agora Speakers. And as Alex has said, I'm an old face to him because we know each other, and I live in Madrid. So I'm really excited to know you guys and to share this moment, or the moments that you're going to be sharing in terms of public speaking and, of course, improving our skills and learning from each other.
Thank you, Sarah. You're originally from South Africa, right?
Yes, I'm originally from South Africa.
Yeah, it's again one of the first countries that started on Agora Club. Now there are like 6 there, I think.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so well, new people keep showing up. Let's move on with Claudia's speech. Sorry for I'm missing David, Antonio, and Mariana. But if this keeps going on, we never actually get to the speech. So Claudia, the floor is yours.
Hello everyone, sorry for the interruption. My name is Klaida and I am from Albania. I am a student and I am starting the speech that I have prepared for today. If you want to change the world, start by making your bed. If you make that every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task and another and another. And at the end of the day, that task completed will happen in many tasks completed. Making that will also reinforce the fact that little things in life matter. If you can do the little thing right, you will not be able to do big things right. And if chance you have a miserable day, you come home to a bed that you made, and that give you encouragement. Tomorrow will be a better day. To pass still training, there are a series of long swims must be complete. One is the night swim. Board swim, the instructor jointly briefed the students on all the speech of Charlotte is the worst option for metal.
Claudia, I think
Visual.
sorry to interrupt you. I think there's something wrong with your mic because it's breaking down a lot, a lot. I mean, at the beginning it was more or less okay, but is it a cable or maybe your sounds like, I don't know.
I can't hear.
You
Can
can't
you
hear.
read, please?
I was saying that there is something wrong with your mic because you're breaking down a lot.
Hold the mic close to your mouth, I think.
Are you using a headphone or a mic that is with a cable?
Can you please? I don't hear.
No, it's not working.
Hold your mic close to your mouth.
Maybe you can write to her because she
Yeah,
isn't
that's right.
listening.
Yes.
Oh, do you hear me?
We do hear you, but you break down continuously. It's like
Can you hear me?
It's like a faulty connection. And seeing the kind of mic, it's most probably a faulty connection.
Okay, can I do it again?
Do you have a different mic? No.
Okay. I'm starting again. If you wanna change the world, start by making your bed.
It's still not working. Okay, Claudia, let's move on. And if you fix it, we'll repeat again. If not, we'll leave it for the next meeting. But right now it would be a waste for your speech. We won't be able to hear half of it. And it's a pity because it looked quite good. Okay, let's move on. Next, we have a section that is dedicated to improvisational speaking. Improvisational speaking, what we call hot questions here, it's important because you have to be able to get out or answer more or less decently questions that might show up during your social interactions. They may be with your boss, they may be with your friends, they may be for a job interview, they may be with some authority. The fact is, or even a small talk with a prospective client, you do need to be able to answer questions in a more or less decent way and not be blocked. Usually, you have about 3 to 5 seconds to make a good impression. So these first answers are precious. Now, the mechanics of this section is that we have a hot questions leader that is going to be performed by Tamara, and she'll be picking volunteers or victims, her choice, and be asking them random questions. You don't need to start answering immediately. In fact, that's one skill that you need to learn. Resist your impulse to start speaking without actually knowing what you're saying. Pause, think for a while. You have 10, 15 seconds to think, then try to come out with an answer that resembles a speech, that has like a clear idea or message, and then some sort of opening and some sort of opening and some sort of conclusion. And without further ado, Tamara, the floor is yours to torture everyone. Where is Tamara? Tamara left? Or did you get disconnected?
I think she left just a minute ago. At least I saw it written on the top of the screen.
Really? Let me ping her. Dun, 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 dun. Probably she'll rejoin. Let me ping her. If not, we'll have to improvise the improvisational section. Okay, while she replies, let me finish the introduction round. David, it was your turn, so please tell us something about you.
Okay. Hello, I'm David. I'm from Romania. I saw this on Facebook, so it was really interesting, and it's really interesting to be here and to try to talk or to have this thing to talk and to connect with others in other countries. So it's really nice to see you all and meet you all.
Thank you, David. Where from in Romania are you exactly?
From Cluj-Napoca.
Cluj-Napoca. Okay, I managed to pronounce it. Usually it's difficult with Romanian names.
Yeah.
Although we are sort of neighbors, I'm originally from Bulgaria, so. And we have, I think I'm missing Antonio. Antonio, tell us something about yourself. Antonio, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, it was just my mother came to take something. Hello, I'm Antonio. I'm also from Romania. I joined this group due to Facebook ads again. They said that I can develop my communication, speaking, and my leadership skills. So I got interested in that. But honestly, which I think everyone is a little afraid to say, I'm a little disappointed about the organization of this event, which is like my first event, and you quite did a lot of improvising. But I won't take this into consideration, and I hope for future events to be better.
Sure. It's always a challenge, especially when technology gets in the way. Nothing to do about it. It can happen in real life as well. And Tamara's here again. So Tamara, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hello to everyone. I am sorry I have some problems with the connection. So I will ask you some questions and you will have 1 or 2 minutes to answer them. So is here any volunteer?
Yes.
Marco? Okay, Marco, the first question is for you.
Okay, I think
What was your first job and why did you like it?
My first job?
Mm-hmm.
All right. My first job was something very unusual. I worked for a morgue and I didn't work exactly with the bodies itself, but I worked with the machines that extracted the air because all the corpses emanate a lot of putrid air that contaminates everything. So you had to assemble some sort of machines that have high extraction bells that extract all that air so you don't have to contaminate all the place with it. And I have to install those. It was very weird, but I actually loved it because it was just a summer job. It was my first job. I was 18, and it was over 10 years ago. The thing is that it was very cool because every time we entered the morgue, everything was like classified in jars and it looked like very scientific kind of thing, and I kind of like the aesthetic of that. I didn't mess with the bodies itself, but what surprised me the most was the guy who worked directly with the bodies. He had a look in his eyes, it was like penetrating, and everybody was afraid of him. And they had like he has like some special sort of respect because he basically handled all the corpses of people who died in that area, and he was very respected. And he was like, he had a special look, like a glare. You can't imitate it, but it was fun to look at him. And it was surprising because he looked like 35, 40 at most, but he was like 60. And everybody asked him, "What's your secret? Like, why do you look so young?" And he's like, "Well, I never take the sun. I don't take sun. I'm here all day, all night, and the number one thing that damages your skin is the sun, and I never take it. That's why I look so young." And I was like, "Wow." But it was very interesting. It was just a summer job. It lasted just a couple of months, but it was cool. It was very cool. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, the next volunteer. Sophie. Question for you is, tell 3 secret things about you. Tell 3 secret things about you.
Okay, hi everyone. So, 3 secret things about me. Okay, so first one I would like to mention is that I love writing. I've been writing poems and some sort of stories since last 10 years when I was 12 years old. And yes, like some poems have been published in like English newspapers also, but I've never started writing songs. So this is something new which I have started writing. And yes, I have kept a secret from everyone. And I am waiting for the right time to tell anything. Even I have kept the secret from my parents also, and I'm working on my skill first, and then I will be telling the secret to my family and my friends, and maybe to others also. So this is my first secret and other secret. Okay, so I need to think for a while. Yes, it's not a secret, but kind of some sort of about me. Like people think that I am a bit kind of so what do I say? It's introvert person and all, but yes, it's not true. Actually, I am not. I am. I will call myself not an extrovert also, but I don't have any stage fear and all. I never have that, but it's just that I want to improve my vocabulary and all. That's why I want to. I had stepped into Agora. So it's not a secret, but yes, it's like something like people always take me as an introvert, but which is something an untrue fact. And third one, okay. So, yes, it's one more secret is there that I am from India, and the New York is a city. New York is a core city in USA. So in India, Mumbai is the core city in India. So I really want to go to Mumbai, and I'm a student right now. So I want to complete my studies first, and then I want to go to Mumbai, which is heart of India for everything you want to live your dream there. So that's my secret where I want to live my dream there. That's third secret.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're
I
welcome.
want you to pay attention that your answers should be not more than 2 minutes. Okay, the next volunteer.
Me?
Okay, Sarah. What do you think, whom were you in your previous life?
Okay. Fascinating and intriguing question. Well, I think that I was probably a chameleon, and that is because, you know, I find that the story of my life has been changing different roles and basically adapting to myself. I understand that perhaps the concept can be a little bit negative, like camouflage, but I want to think of it in a positive way, like sort of adapting and reinventing myself, you know, the way that I can just blend in the environment and at the same time kind of also stick out. So I would say that in my past life, the most likely animal I was is a chameleon, you know, for my own good and for the good of others. You know how it is. In the ecosystem, you either eat or be eaten. So I think that's probably how I survived and then reincarnated myself as this person today. So that's my answer.
Okay, thank you. Do we still have volunteers? Okay, Lourdes. Jean, how do you see yourself in 20 years?
Well, I think that is a question I've been asking myself all the time, and I still don't have an answer, but right now I need an answer. So I see myself as an academic. Since I was in high school, I knew I wanted to be a researcher. I'm mostly interested in computer science theory and logical set theory and logic. So I see myself as a researcher. I don't know if marry, but with a child. And I think in Mexico still, in a university in Mexico, for sure. And that's my answer.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you very much. Who will be the next? Okay, Sergio. How will you spend $1 million if you win it?
That's an interesting question. Before I spend most of the money, I would like to donate a part of it, the third part of it, among I don't know, animal shelters across all over my country, and in despite of spending it, I would like to invest it, and I don't know, make a building, for example, where my family can live, and then with the profits of the building, maybe I will definitely, most definitely, would like to travel to Europe. That's my unexpected answer.
Okay, thank you very much. Who will be the next? Okay, then I will choose Amelia.
Yes.
Okay. Imagine that you can change one thing in the world. What it would be?
Oh, well, so far I think it's an easy question because of the coronavirus. I think I will try to find out a vaccine or something like that that make the co-work reactivate because either you live in China or Mexico or Spain, you have to be away from your family or your friends or your relative. And I think it's not only like a medical issue, it's also economical, and it affects us in every single way. So far, I think it's an easy answer for that question.
Okay, thank you for your answer. So, Aman, the next question is for you. Imagine that in your next life you will not be a person but a thing. What it would be?
Okay, let's. I like to be a mobile. In this technological world, I like to be a mobile because that everyone likes that thing, and that which get updated by the time, and so that's why I'd like to be a mobile.
Everyone poking at you? Are you sure?
Okay. Sorry, what?
Nothing, sorry, it couldn't resist. Everyone would be poking at you.
Yeah, but everyone likes me also.
Okay, and we have, thank you very much. We have still one question, the last one, and it will be for Olga. Olga, are you here? I think Olga is not here. So maybe we have some volunteer.
Let me try.
Okay. The last question is for Vladimir. How you can use vase except putting flowers in it? Name 5 ways of using.
Whoa. Okay, I can use it as a hammer. If I don't know the word in English actually, when you are hammering something, if it's a heavy vase. Also, I can keep the door from closing. I can put the vase in front of it. I can turn it around so I can put my tablet on it, and I will be able to watch you like this and not like this. Another 2 things. I can use it as an ashtray because I'm a smoker, a serious one. And the fifth one. I don't know. Maybe I could put some goldfish inside if it's a bigger one. And yeah, I think I gave 5, so stop torturing me.
Okay, thank you very much for interesting answer. So,
my pleasure.
We have you have answered on all my questions. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Tamara. And now let's move on to the evaluator of the section, who's going to provide feedback on how the participants did. So, Saska,
yes,
over to you.
Here. Okay, I have some notes here. I'm Sashka, and I will be evaluating Tamara today. Last meeting I had this rule, and I enjoyed in preparing the question, so I hope you felt the same. You showed us a very polite way of asking this challenging question. They were really challenging, especially for me, and motivates me for thinking more deeply later about this. I really like the type of the way, the type of the questions that you choose, because they were so they obviously can occur in real situation. Most of them were so realistic, and that is one important thing about this role. They were also open-ended, and I like the way you choose choose the speakers. They choose by self actually. According to the description of the rules, there is a good idea. Alexander mentioned in the start of the meeting. I really like this because this description for this rule that we should remind the speakers to take time before answering. This is good thing because I think that in this way we can have the answers even to the most complex question if we have. Following the rules according to the description, I think is the something that we can improve in next meetings. And as a final comment by me, that I make, sorry, one more thing. I really like you got natural answers and sincere from the speakers. Especially Marco was so excited to answer. So congratulations! I think this is the all goal for this role.
Do you have any feedback on the speakers themselves?
Yeah, for the speakers.
Yeah, for the participants.
For the participants. Something that I wrote here, that Marco was so excited, and I really like his answer. Maybe the question for Marco, it was so simple, but you successfully remind him for some pastime about Survey is the right name. Survey for the three secret things. It is so creatively answered for me. Sarah, I think, has the most natural answer in this part. And the others, I have not a lot of notes about the others, but I have here also the most creative answer from Aman. He wants to be mobile.
Okay, thank you, Saska.
That's awesome.
Just a few comments from my side. Indeed, Marco was super excited about the answer. I wasn't expecting anything like that, and certainly not anything as visual as that. He did a great job. The question was easy. I'll get you next time. We'll see. One small piece of advice for survey, especially when you get questions like this, you don't actually need to answer the question, you know, especially if they are asking about your secret stuff in front of like completely unknown people. One skill is just whistling away. It's just like bringing the conversation somewhere else, you know. Probably you could say something like, well, we still don't know each other. You should invite me for a dinner and then I'll tell you my secret things. But before that, I'll let you know something about myself, which is not so secret, but maybe it's interesting nonetheless. You just say something and you turn the conversation to whatever you like. And in fact, that's a skill that is very useful, especially if you get into meetings with a lot of where the stakes are high, especially in politics. It pays a lot. We do a section, by the way, although not in this meeting because no one was courageous enough to volunteer. That's called Crossfire, where you do have to role play an executive or director or representative of somebody that has made the decision, and the rest of the members act as either journalists or shareholders, depending on the situation, or just concerned citizens, and you have to defend your from very inquisitive and sometimes outright hostile questions. And it trains a lot, and it pays a lot being able to answer without answering, actually, especially when you don't know what, you don't have any data to reply. Try that's in general an advice for Vladimir and Aman. Try to structure a full answer around the idea that you have. Don't just say, because the goal is speaking at least 1 minute. I know it's a long time, especially when you're for the first time speaking, and in front of an audience, a minute can be awfully long or awfully short, depending on how well prepared you are. Don't just say, I want to be a mobile, or, well, I'll do this, and with a vase. Try to build a story around it. Why do you want to be a mobile? How would you live as a mobile? What does it feel to have an electrical cord plug up your to be charged, and things like that? Try to give some narrative, because that's the goal, not just answering a question like, okay, I want to be a mobile. And you have a lot of opportunities there. Okay, so now we are moving to the next section. Sorry, I'm going to be leading it. I had to improvise it because initially it was planned to be a crossfire. So we usually have this section occasionally that's called language improvement games. Unlike hot questions, where the goal is improvising a speech, here we concentrate more on language and on writing, actually, on coming up with something that makes sense in a particular amount of time. We've run this section quite a few times. We've done storytelling, we've done poetry, we've done visual language, or sensory words as we called them back then. Today I'm going to try a combination of these concepts. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to ask for 3 numbers from 1 to 70. These numbers correspond to different words, and I'm going to share with you a picture as well. And you have 5 minutes to come up with a story that contains those 3 words and that is somehow related to that picture. It is not an improvisational exercise, meaning that you will have those 5 minutes to write it down and you can read it. It's not about speaking, it's about writing, and it's about language. Try to have a decent structure in the story, like some person, and of course you don't need to be Dan Brown or, well, God forbid, please no, or Stephen King or someone like them, but at least try to come up with a story that makes some sense and that has a beginning and a conclusion. A short one, please. You won't have more than 2 times to read it. It's neither a memorization exercise. You don't need to memorize it and then you can read it. It's not about this. So who wants to give me the first number? Rodica, tell me one number from 1 to 60. 70, sorry.
Yeah, can I do it?
No, let's hear from Rodica first, then I'll give you the word.
Number 10.
Number 10. Okay. Okay, that's an interesting one.
I can change.
No. I'll share well, not yet. Okay, Marco, give me the second number.
Me?
Marco,
okay.
Marco, 1 to 70.
66, can you hear me?
66, okay. Sorry that you didn't get 1 more 6. Okay, well, that's amazing that it happened. Okay, well, let's hear from David. David, give me a number, 1 to 70, without those 2.
1.
Okay. Great. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'll give you 5 minutes to come up with a story. And I'll pick volunteers so that we can compare the stories. There you go. So now 5 minutes of silence. Okay, time's up. So let's hear from our future Nobel Prize winners. Let's hear someone that hasn't spoken too much or at all. Let's start with Rodica, for example. No, no, shying away. Okay, then let's switch to David and or David, sorry, and we'll get back to you, Rodica.
Okay, so it was a cloudy night. Uh, nearly, nearly cloud. See only the moon rising as an emerald on the sky. The sea was so calm. No ships, no whales. The thing that was shining in the dark was a yellow light. The light navigates you through the night. My sister and me were walking in the cold sand with our bare foot, just following the light. This is what I sent it. I couldn't finish it.
Okay,
And it,
okay, it can do. In fact, what you wrote reminds me of the kind of exercises that we do in the sensory language section, which is all about describing an environment with a bit more details. But in that section, we have to fight actually the desire of people to develop a story out of a place and instead focus them on describing the environment. And you did exactly the opposite. You centered yourself in describing the environment rather than having a development. But okay, let's hear from Antonio.
Okay, thanks. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So once upon a time, there was the kingdom of clouds. In it, the most beautiful thing of them all was the lighthouse governing over the sea of sky droplets. Majestic and imposing, the tower's ray would form every night when the Sister of Light would bring a basket of photons as an offering. But the sea is vastly big, so not all the droplets get a chance to shine. Nevertheless, those who do are known to humans as stars.
Wow, that was very nice and very poetic. Congratulations. I want to clarify the reason why we do these kinds of exercises is not only because not only for the sake of language practice, but because storytelling in particular is one of the if not the most powerful resources of a good public speaker. So being able to frame things in terms of stories, being able to frame ideas, being able to express your viewpoints, the stories, is an extremely persuasive argument. Even more so if the stories are personal, because as any storytelling workshop will tell you, we are storytelling animals. We've been telling stories ever since the dawn of time, when we used to paint those stories as on the walls of caves. One thing I would recommend is, although yeah, for writing it's nice and cool, but please don't start with Once Upon a Time. Try to figure out a more powerful beginning, especially because when you embed that story or a similar story into a speech, you cannot start with Once Upon a Time. It needs to be fluent. It needs to be connected with the rest of the speech. But I liked a lot, by the way, the metaphor in your speech, and that's also very powerful language. Thank you so much. Who else wants to try? I haven't forgotten about you, Rodica.
I'm done with my story. I wanna try.
Sorry?
I'm done with the story. I wanna try my story.
Who's that? Marco? Okay, go ahead.
Right. So
But don't mute yourself.
sorry. Okay. The year is 2030, and this is the story of a kid who hated how his father cooked because everything was so bland and he felt like something was missing. He asked his mom, "Hey, mom, why the food tastes like nothing?" The mom said, "Well, son, that's because I was used to cook with salt." And after the virus, people went crazy and bought all the salt for themselves. After a while, producers were not allowed to work anymore, so there was no salt left. So now you have to get used to a world without salt. The dad says, well, why don't you go to the sea? Why, says the kid. Well, says the dad, a great source of salt is the sea. If you want to try so much the salt, then I'll help you build a boat so you can gather seawater. Then we can filter it in the garage and when we can get the salt. After the kid and his dad went to and gathered everything they needed, they came back with a barrel full of salty water. They spent all night filtering, and in the next day, little Jimmy had the best lunch of his life. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Marco. That was a very dynamic story. I liked it, especially given the short time that you came up with, and you used the words. Quite cool.
Thanks.
Funny that you didn't mention toilet paper because that's one of the things that everyone bought everywhere. I don't know if someone asks me again the question of what do humans share across couches, that's probably their desire for toilet paper in times of crisis. Okay, who else wants to try? Okay, Sylvie.
So when it comes to sea and cloud, I can just think of me as a sister with my brother. Not actually, not actually true, but for my story, yes, traveling around world to air, clouds in between, and suddenly I wanted to go for skydiving. Unfortunately, it is possible. And yes, I jumped from the clouds, enjoying my dream coming true, leaving all the negativities aside and living the moment to the full. And I ended up landing up in the sea. And yes, then I woke up that it was a dream.
Okay, thank you, Sylvie. Nice story. I would try to extend it a bit more. One thing you should try to run away from, by the way, that applies universally to all techniques, is from cliches. Just like once upon a time, or I woke up and it was a dream, or to be or not to be, or like these are things that are so abused, that have been so overused, that they have lost their meaning already. Try to get away from them like the plague.
Actually, I was writing more, but then the time was up, so I stopped there.
Nah, excuses, excuses. Are you going to tell that if you're interviewed on TV? Well, you only gave me 5 minutes notice, so can I start again? No matter, it's prime time. I want to start again. you, it's okay. It's your first time. Usually, you do not have too much time, especially if you have to improvise it. But that's the whole point of it: practicing until you get good at it. It's like every skill; it takes practice. Okay, we have time for one more. Rodica, do you want to go? No? Really? Okay, who wants to go? Sarah, let's hear from you.
All right, so can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, so Craig was a sailor who had a sister named Sharon. While on his expeditions at sea, he would enjoy the letters his sisters had given him to read while on his voyages. Sharon was very talented and creative. Therefore, Craig really enjoyed the poems and short stories she wrote. However, not everyone appreciated this gift and love for words Sharon possessed. At school, her teacher often thought her head was in the clouds, as she was daydreaming most of the time. However, years later, at the encouragement of her brother, she entered a contest where she won a prize and even the attention of a national publisher. Believe it or not, she finally realized her dream, which was writing and spreading joy professionally.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. you're already experienced in speaking, so I'll give you some more serious feedback from my personal point of view. I think you should organize it a bit better because you started speaking as if the story was going to be about the brother at sea that reads the letters from his sister back in time, and then suddenly it changed all about her. And I felt a bit lost because disappointed because okay, we left the guy at sea, and then it's all about the sister. Or at least you can use that technique, but then at the end, don't end with the sister. Tie it back with the brother as if I don't know. It was some kind of he was remembering her hard progress through all the rejections by publishers and all that. Especially, they usually say I'm by no means an expert storyteller by far, but they usually say that it's better if we discover things through the actions and words of the characters rather than if the narrator explains them. Meaning that don't tell, oh, Sarah was so accomplished and so hard was so hard for her, and well, you give everything like already masticated. Instead, uh, make the brother remember the rejections and let the reader come up with the conclusion that it was hard. Don't just tell it was so hard.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start wrapping up the meeting. Now we are going to hear from our evaluators first, or from our what we call analytical team first. The grammarian, Uliana, I think we didn't use too much the word of the day, right?
Um, mm, uh, I have to give feedback as this person who talk about stories.
No. You only need to give the feedback on whether we used the word of the day or had too many filler words or things like that.
Uh, okay. I understand that my vocabulary is a little bit low, and I have to read more and to create a good story that I think everyone want to find out where he have to take their knowledge, and I don't know what to say because it's the first time, and I ashamed.
It's okay. You don't need to say anything like that. We won't notice.
So,
Just pretend it's just like this, and then you just give the floor back to me, and that's it. Okay,
um,
thank you, Oliana.
thank you.
Okay, and let's hear from Nicoletta, our timer, how we did on time. You didn't have to kick out anyone from the stage, I think.
Okay, first I want to say that I really enjoyed this meeting, and I have good news for everyone that almost all the people that spoke today um, managed to speak in the time that was given to them. So I just want to say that for hot questions, people need to speak more than 1 minute because some people spoke like 30 seconds and the answer is too short. But some of the people, as Marco and Surbi, I think it's a correct pronunciation, Surbi, spoke more than 2 minutes, and it's pretty a lot. And I recommend next time to speak between 1 and 2 minutes because and to try to put in 2 minutes all the information that you want to say. And also, I want to say something about Olga. I liked at first her speech, but about the time she managed to uh, tell her story in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and it's a really she really managed to integrate herself in this time, and it means a lot because it's important to speak all that you want to say everything that you want in that time that is given to you. But in general, I can say that you did a good job today. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Nicoleta. And I'm going to step again as the role of a meeting evaluator. Again, there were few volunteers. Well, actually, there were no volunteers. To say that there were few volunteers is a euphemism. That's a word. This is a new club, so I'm not going to be extremely harsh. We're just learning the system. I think this is the fourth meeting or something like that. Everyone is new to Agora, except when occasionally some members from other clubs like Jeremy join. Some members are more experienced than others, have been participating in more meetings. What I would recommend for everyone, especially since we haven't had like other clubs the chance to meet physically initially and know the system and know how everything works, I wholeheartedly recommend to everyone to have their roles prepared. There is a lot of documentation on the roles. We are working on making, of course, that documentation even more extensive with more examples. But for now, it's what it is. So by all means, please try to read about how each role should be performed. And especially, we have some videos, both of online meetings and physical meetings. Try to watch them to see how each role is performed. Other than that, we finished mostly on time. Well, 6 minutes late, but we started 5 minutes late as well. So basically, it's all right. And I do want to hear from the guests or the people that are for the first time here, their opinion. I will contact those that attended now for the first time on Facebook, and will ask them. I won't ask here because of the social pressure and things like this. I'll ask them privately whether you want to continue or not in the club. And if so, I will add you to a chat that we have where you don't have to be booking seats in meetings. They get occupied rather quickly, by the way. And you can volunteer for roles. Ideally, you should try to get out of your comfort zone and do not easy roles, but more difficult ones. That's what makes you better. Ideally, when the lockdown is over, you can join, when the clubs resume activities, you can join your local club or start a new one, who knows? And there you'll get much more benefit in terms of learning experience. So any new members, guests that want to share their opinion, their impression?
Yeah, could I say a few words, Alexander?
But you're not new. You're 3 years already here, Jeremy. Okay.
Uh, although I'm 3 years, I'm coming for the first time for your meeting, and
Okay.
it was a wonderful session, and I was really impressed by your activity of showing a picture and giving 3 words to the audience to come and tell a story about it. It was a wonderful item in the whole agenda. I really appreciate that. And I got something out of it so that I can introduce it to our meetings also here.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thanks a lot, Alexander.
Thank you. I recommend you also the sensory words exercise is great for extending vocabulary in terms of experience.
Thanks. That's great.
Thanks. Who else wants to share? Marco.
Yes. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's got a good rhythm, a lot of disposition. I really like the part of the story because it kind of challenged you to develop something on your own in a short time. It's like it works on creativity, it works on time consuming whatever organization, and at the same time that you have to speak up what you wrote. Yeah, so nice. I see myself coming again totally. The only problem, at least for now, is the time might not be ideal for me, but if it's twice a month minimum, then I think I can make it. Yeah.
It's not like it's minimum, but it's just not. I mean, 1 month you can come only once, but if you just plan on coming just once a month, it's well. But by the time you come 3 times, I guess the pandemic will be over and you can switch to yeah, hope so, to a physical club. You were from Puebla, you mentioned?
No, Chile.
Chile. Oh, sorry. Then no, you would have to start the club there if you want to attend the club, at least in your city.
Oh, you mean like in physically?
Yeah, physically. Because in public speaking there are only some things that we can practice online, but there are a lot of activities that are absolutely require physical presence, especially, I don't know, using microphones, using presentations, using body language, using a lot of things, and it's just not the
Yeah.
full experience.
Right.
Okay, let's hear from David. Did we manage to improve that initial disappointment, or you're still terribly disappointed?
But I wasn't disappointed. It was okay for me.
Okay.
It's really interesting. It's really interesting and really nice to have it and to hear other people and to learn together, to develop together. So it's really amazing thing to do.
Okay, thanks. That was very kind. Although the meeting was a bit chaotic, but it's too late for me to use the word of the day now. But anyway, Surbi, what about you?
I had a great experience today. I love two things. One thing is that I love the story concept, which will help us to imagine more and think broadly. And second thing I loved is about the feedback section, because that is the most important part, because where we will speak and speak constantly, but till somebody or anybody doesn't give feedback, we cannot improve upon that. So that was the lovely part.
Yep, that's indeed the core concept. And I just want to, in a couple of minutes, mention that. Let me turn off the echoes around. I always make the analogy of, especially because people are reluctant to give feedback, especially to give feedback about things they didn't like so much or that they think that they could be improved. I always make the analogy because they always say, but we're not professionals of public speaking. We're not, I don't know, we are not writers. We're not, how can we judge someone that is so much more experienced? But I always use the same analogy. Imagine that you go to a movie or imagine that you go to a restaurant, and after you exit, after you finish eating or watching the movie, you do have an opinion on what happened there. You do comment to your friends, well, the movie sucked, or the script was so predictable, or I like this twist at the end, I didn't expect that, or the acting was good or bad, or the effects were better or worse. So you do have an opinion, just the same as with the restaurant. You do have an opinion on whether the food was nice, whether it was the service was fast, whether it was tasty, well presented, whether it was clean or not. You do have an opinion on that. Same here. You're not giving your feedback as an academic of public speaking. You're giving your feedback as a member of the audience, as just a normal person that has received this sort of product that you're being presented, the speech, and you have your whole life as a listener for experience. So you are experienced as a listener. It, I would say that the feedback of people that are not professionals is quite important, because at the end of the day, they are going to be mostly your audience. Whether you're a professional speaker or a politician or an entrepreneur, the audience is going to be composed not by professionals of public speaking, but by regular people, professionals as well. So the feedback is useful nonetheless. And with that, well, I would like to give as well the opportunity for Sarah to have share some feedback. She's experienced, so I expect something harsher than the nice words that everyone shared.
Actually, I'm so happy I'm here today. Really, I kind of like, I had forgotten how much fun it is to be among people who want to improve themselves. I really say this sincerely. I really enjoyed myself, and I'm looking forward to all the feedback. I mean, I was excited. I was happy to be learning from even the first interactions where like people given different scenarios. So for me, I don't look at it as I have done this. I look at it like still learning again, and I'm going to learn from all of you, really, because all of us are different, and there's something that some of us kind of do better naturally. So I'm really excited, and there's just so much to learn. So I'm definitely going to be here next week, Monday.
Thank you so much, Sarah. One thing I would recommend, we record all the sessions, although it will take me some time to upload them, is the recording is mostly for you, because it's actually quite boring to watch if you haven't been here a meeting like this, except if you want to learn how the mechanics works. I especially encourage you to watch when you joined, and after a few, I wouldn't say a few weeks, but a few months, maybe 2 or 3 months, and you'll be amazed at the amount of progress that you can make. Well, obviously, if you volunteer and speak, if you just remain here like a wallflower, no. So thank you everyone for being here. As I mentioned, I'll contact you privately, the new people on Facebook, and you can tell me whether you want to continue or not. And for those that want to continue, see you next Monday, same time. Bye, everyone.
See you guys.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.